Yo, what's going on YouTube? Today I want to talk about why I spent 500 bucks on this.
Let's go. Yo, I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. Get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that?
All right, everybody. First things first. I don't like buying expensive stuff. I know the price you pay for safety should not be a factor, especially for your head. But I've always been that bang for your buck kind of guy, and I still am. So today I want to talk a little bit about why I decided to go ahead and spend $525 on this particular helmet. This right here is the Ruroc Atlas 4.0. It's new. I think it launched a couple weeks ago. I typically wait for reviews before I make my purchase, but the fact that usually they sell out fast, and if you're not part of the first group, you gotta wait. Like, I think right now the current wait time is at least a month out for damn near all of their models. But so I just want to talk to you a little bit about why I went ahead and spent 500 bucks on this helmet, and why I justified the purchase. Quick little background. I've had multiple helmets in the past. I've always been kind of like that budget shopper when it comes to helmets. I've always looked for the bang for the buck features. Some of the previous helmets I've had, my first one was a cheap built Raptor Shadow is what that model was. That was my very first helmet. I paid under 100 bucks for that, and you really feel, I mean, you get what you pay for literally when you spend less than 100 bucks on a helmet. So my experience with the built Raptor, I don't even want to compare to this Ruroc Atlas 4.0. I do want to compare my other helmets, which was the Bell Qualifier DLX and the Sedici Strata 2 Carbon. Both of those helmets fell under the $300 price category. I think they were right at the verge of 300 bucks. And this right here is on another level. I mean, this is $500, so I spent $200 more than I'm usually in my price range. And people always tell you get what you pay for when it comes to helmets, and I feel like Ruroc is no different. Some people might argue differently. Some people might think that this is that one helmet where it's not what you pay for. But I'm here to talk to you about how I feel about it. I've only had, like, I'd say 3 to 4 hours of ride time in it, so not enough to like truly give you a breakdown after pads wear in and all that, but stay tuned and more to come on that. So, like I said, this is the most expensive helmet I've ever bought, but I feel like I have never put on a helmet quite as good as this, and I've always stuck in the $300 price range, maybe less sometimes, and I stepped up to a $500 price range, and I've never felt anything quite as good as this. I've also gone into cycle gear and put on Shoei RF 1400s, 1200s, their GT Airs. I've also put on some Arise, and I can honestly say that when I put this helmet on, I feel safe. Like, I feel like I'm encapsulated in like an eggshell, and it fits perfectly. The only problem I have with this helmet currently is how tight it is to get on my head. But damn it, once I get it on my head, it feels like it belongs there. It's pure comfort. I've had no complaints as to why, or as to comfort. Also, when I put it on my head, I don't know if you see this section right here. but this is like a canvas section almost, and this right here, once it hits my face and my ears, this is where it hurts a little bit. But I think in time this will wear down, it'll get softer. It's not canvas, it sure looks like it, but it's not canvas, and I think that'll wear down the more I put it on and off. So yeah, tight to get on the head. But once it's on there, I've not felt any helmet comparable to this. I feel like it's perfect for my head, and it feels like I'm safer than any of the past helmets I've put on. All right. Next up is the sound comparison. For a long time, sound was a big deal for me, mainly because I went and I bought this Ardo Pack Dot Black with the 45 millimeter JBL speakers. So I went and I bought that. That was $300, I think. And I feel like if I can't hear my music, then it was a waste of $300. Damn near the price of another helmet. So I could tell you for sure that the Bell Qualifier DLX was horrible when it came to sound. I had my JBLs at full blast. I had the speaker spacers. I had all that stuff in there, and I just couldn't hear my music. It sucked. It sucks when you buy a $300 Cardo system and you still can't hear it. So the DLX was great. Had the photochromatic tinting on the visor, which was good for me. But to be honest, that's about the only good thing I have to say about the Qualifier DLX. The next helmet I can compare that to is the Sedici Strata 2 Carbon. It was better. The Strata 2 Carbon was better than the Bell Qualifier DLX when it comes to sound. It's louder than this. This by far is the quietest helmet I've ever put on. But like I said, my list is not long. I don't have too many helmets to compare to. I can go into cycle gear and put on a showy helmet or whatever, but if I can't take it on the road, I'm taking that risk of buying a $600 helmet and not knowing whether or not I'll be able to hear my speakers. So when it comes to sound, by far this is the quietest helmet I've put on. Next thing we want to talk about is safety. Ruroc went ahead and took it to the next level with safety on this. It's not Snell approved, and I don't think they're interested in getting it Snell approved. That's more for like a track safety rating. However, they did go and get it ECE 22.06 approved, as well as the DOT, the American Standard DOT, but I don't even want to talk about that. I heard that's not even relevant when it comes to safety. I don't know if it's easy to get to pass DOT ratings, but I know that ECE is one of the toughest ones to get. Because they went and they got the ECE 22.06 rating, they had to make some changes, and they made some changes for the better. The padding is multi-layered. The quietness, I think, is also part of the ECE 22.06 rating. I think with the 22.06, you still have to have a certain level of noise come in for rider awareness and to make sure that you're not just oblivious on the streets and can't hear anything around you. So safety rating, ECE 22.06. I am perfectly fine with an ECE DOT rating. I don't track, and even if I do track, I heard some tracks don't require you to have a Snell approved helmet. And I'm wondering if that's because ECE it will suffice or is good enough for track use. So safety out of the way. It is ECE 22.06 and it is DOT, and those two are perfect for me. Aesthetics, what more can I say about the aesthetics, man? It's the Ruroc Atlas line, right? Like, these guys are one of a kind. They're not traditional in any sense of the way, and I think that pisses some people off, right? That they're able to go and make like a Skeletor style design, skull. Like, it's just straight up, this helmet is straight up different and nice all at the same time, right? Like, I don't know, man. There's nothing that compares to it. You can go and get a Predator helmet, I guess, but there's no safety rating on that, I don't think so. I like it. I've liked it since I saw the very first Atlas. I didn't pull the trigger on those because I was fortunate enough to catch some honest reviews on them. And once the 4.0 rolled out and they made all these changes, I was like, okay, now it's time that I pick up an Atlas. So I know that there's a lot of hate on Ruroc. I know that there's a lot of talk about how they make people test their helmets. One or two things I want to point out about that is that you have companies like Shoei and Arai and all these guys that'll put out a helmet model and not ever touch that model for, anywhere from 5 to 10 years. They'll just keep pushing out the same model for that long. And if you got it, you got it, you know what I mean? And to me, the concept of pushing out a model every year and actively making changes to each model, I don't see any other helmet motorcycle company take that path. And to me, I can't complain about it, and I don't know why anybody would complain about it. All that matters is that it's safety rated. It's safety rated. There's people, I've seen people online who's gotten to wrecks and can't thank Ruroc enough for a safe helmet. So me, am I a beta tester? Yeah, in a sense. But you can't tell me that the RF 1200 being out for 8 to 10 years, that they're not listening to feedback and making changes for the 1400. The only difference is Shoei's waiting 8 to 12 years or 8 to 10 years versus Ruroc changing it the following year, right? Like, nobody's hating on Shoei. They hate on Ruroc because they're pushing it out so quickly. Like, that just doesn't make sense, guys. It doesn't make sense to hate on a company that's changing their helmet every year. Hey, if you can't afford it, you can't afford to pay for a reiteration or a revision the following year. But look at like cell phone companies. Look at Apple. They're pushing out new updates monthly, quarterly even, and nobody's complaining about getting quality of life software improvements. I feel the same way about a helmet, right? Except you have to pay for the next revision, and it sucks. You can't expect Ruroc to give you a free 5.0. It's not cost effective, right? Like, it's too expensive to produce this thing to give it to you every year after you purchase one. Now, what would be cool is if Ruroc did some kind of a helmet trade-in program, to where if you purchase the previous year model and you want a 5.0, because they make changes every year, maybe get some kind of a discount on turning in your 4.0 for a 5.0. Just something to think about, Ruroc, if this video ever gets to you. I think it'd be solid, since the changes are coming around real frequently, and in 1 year you're probably still going to be able to get in some decent helmets that you can probably flip and sell it on the used market, right? Like, I don't know, I don't see an issue with thoroughly inspecting a previous model helmet and certifying it, changing the pads out, certifying it as used but still in very good condition. So that's my approach. That's what I think about them updating annually. And I think with that approach, this helmet, or the Ruroc Atlas line, will eventually become the perfect helmet. If they constantly address every issue and every complaint that customers have, it's only a matter of time before it becomes supreme. My opinion, you're welcome to put it down in the comment section and tell me whether or not you feel the same way. I'm open to debate. So I'm constantly keeping an eye out on Ruroc and the kind of changes they're making. Another one thing that I wanna mention is that their advertising. They get a lot of heat for their social media advertising, but I think about it sometimes. If I was to start a business today and I wanted to get my feet off the ground, I don't think that I would discredit advertising on social media. Like, everybody and their mom's on social media, and that's the God honest truth, right? I know many of moms that are on social media. I know kids that are on social media. I know teenagers, adults, it doesn't matter. We're all on social media. There's no denying that. And as a new and up and coming company, I would have done the same thing. I see AGV, I see Scorpion, they're all doing social media advertising, and I don't think there's a problem with it, to be honest. So that's my approach on the way they're advertising. I think it's smart, and if you disagree with social media advertising, then that's on you. But guess what? They got people looking at their ads, they got people interested, and they're selling helmets. So you can't really knock on that aspect of social media advertising. Okay, just to wrap it up, what I think of the Atlas 4.0. I think it's the best helmet I've ever purchased. It's the first time I've ever delved into this price range. And I'm not disappointed. I'm not disappointed whatsoever. I feel like it's a solid helmet. It's better than any of the $300 helmets I've purchased in the past, and I'm happy I bought it. Only time will tell though, once these pads break in and everything starts breaking in, which I do plan on doing like a 6-month review, maybe a 3-month, it depends on how fast things start breaking in. But yeah, so far I'm impressed. Oh, by the way, this fidlock system is amazing. A few times already I've taken off and I forgot to strap on my D-rings, and I had to pull a glove out to do that. But if you can see how quickly this thing engages, it's insane. It's a game changer. I've tried to pull this out. I've had other people try to pull it out and it's not coming off. The only way this is gonna come off is to pull the red tab, which you have to like try to pull that red tab for it to like fully unlatch. So game changer there. If you guys have never tried the fidlock system or any kind of like a ratchet system, it might not be safer than the D-ring. There might be some advantages to the double Ds, but I like the fidlock. I think it's great engineering. Also the Rheon technology, I like how they're integrating NASA impact resistance technology in their helmet. I think they're taking a step in a very good direction there. Using NASA and astronaut technology there. So good to see. I'm happy to see that Ruroc is branching out to these other companies and implementing some really good technology in their helmets. Overall, the Atlas 4.0, this helmet's a go. Oh yeah, absolutely. Peace.